Yo, the last thing I want to do is make content that is just slop and doesn't benefit you in any way. As our second podcast, we still haven't found the voice that we really have to offer, but we have to release it. It's okay. I hope you enjoy it. And if you want to buy my painting at the end, The Crow, please let me know in the comments section. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed this mediocre podcast with my best friend Anthony.
Yeah.
What's up? How's it going? I'm Mike.
And I'm Ant. Today we're going to be talking about some stuff.
And how was high school?
High school was all right. Certainly a lot of ups and downs. Oh my God, the ups and downs. The beginning was good. Started off strong. That was right around the time where I was in cadets. Very disciplined young man coming out of cadets. Had some rough patches, had some tough relationships. Going into it, kind of discovering myself. At the end
Typical
of it,
stuff.
Typical stuff.
Growing up.
Yeah. How was high school for you?
High school for me was so. It was simultaneously the least whelming experience of my life and completely overwhelming experience.
Yeah.
Because on one hand, you have the burner courses, you have the burner classes, you have friendly people who are gentle, and then you also deal with people who are just extreme teachers, students, bully type people. I wouldn't say that I was specifically ousted out as a victim. That's kind of more rare than I think people like to admit. But yeah, you spend time around rough people who just kind of don't want to let you get away with anything, teachers included.
So do you think you fit well in the environment?
I didn't fit at all, and somehow that made me feel like I really fit.
Okay, can you explain that a bit more? Because I think that's kind of a foreign concept.
I never had a clique. I never had a clique that was like, this is my clique. Yeah. But I had so many people that I could go up to, I could talk to about anything, and they would be relatively happy to talk to me. So many people in my class, so many people in other grades, just everyone. Like people who smoked a lot of weed and did like pretty hard drugs. Like people who were nerds, like super nerds, studying like all day, all night. Lots of girls, lots of guys, lots of big buff guys on the football team. Just everyone. I just got along so well with everyone. If someone was nice to me, I was so happy. I was like, bro, what's up, man? I like you, dude. Let's hang out. I'll give anyone a chance. I don't care who you are.
That's a very beautiful high school experience. I think you might have brought a lot of light to a lot of different people. I know a lot of people can have really tough times in high school. I know there were a few people that I would see walking in the hallway. There's one guy in particular that I have in mind. I'm so sad I never asked his name. He was like, I was in grade 12. He was in ninth grade. He would walk through the halls. He was just incredibly somber. He was an incredibly somber type character. There was a part of me that really
felt some energy dripping off that guy. I felt some
energy, yeah. But at the time, I was going through something really hard too, so I didn't have that charisma to kind of go up to him and the courage to go up to him and try to see what was going on, if anything at all. Maybe he was just chill. Maybe he was just chilling, and I'm just completely could have been projecting onto him a little bit.
Did he look a little bit like Gru or something?
I hate that you say that because like the more I think of it, a little bit, he seemed very grumpy. But I hope he's doing all right.
I mean, who are we though to? I mean, if I'm having a bad day, I may as well be like Gru.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the thing is, when I had my depression in high school, it was probably the most depressed I ever was. Maybe, I'm not quite sure, but when you're growing up, it's just so easy to be depressed when you're when you're that age, coming of age. I didn't want anyone to come to me and say, "Oh, how you doing, buddy?" and all this. I didn't want that, man. It's like I'm going through my stuff. I'm facing it. I'm going through it.
You wanted to leave it at the door.
Yeah, man. Like it's gonna be fine. It's getting digested.
Yeah, I think for me, going through my tough times, high school was an escape. It was a place where I had a lot of friends. You know, I wouldn't say friends. I would say I had a lot of acquaintances. I think in a similar boat. Maybe
I'm pretty much the same way.
Where I kind of wanted to. It was right at the beginning of me trying to discover myself and discover how I wanted to fit in this world. What my goal was to just kind of talk to as many people as possible, especially in 11th and 12th grade. 9th and 10th, I was a little bit too in my own head about everything. I've talked to a lot of people that have questioned their faith or have tried discovering what else is on the other side. There seems to be this phase that people go through where you think you're just smarter than everyone because you know the answer, or you're going against the grain, and you're trying to discover it for yourself. I certainly was in that boat in ninth and 10th grade where my beginnings of discovering my spirituality and all that was very rooted in science. So
Mm.
I would go down the math route, and I would go down the physics route. For a long time I was like, physics is the way. For a little bit it was chemistry, like, oh, like, well, if you really boil down physics, it's all just chemistry. And
Mm.
so I thought I was a lot better than everyone else, but that dropped very quickly. I went through like a really like difficult relationship in between ninth and 10th. From that point, I really learned humility. Like, I was kind of put in this spot where I was able to see other people go through tough times, like just on the surface. I was able to see myself in them, and that kind of put everything into perspective, that the world is much deeper than this pursuit of knowledge. And that, I was so energized and I was so up there, and then all of a
Mm.
sudden being brought down.
It is quite fascinating spending so much time with your peers over the course of 4 years, if you spend all the same time at one
Oh
high
yeah.
school, because you meet a bully type kind of person, just sort of nasty type person. I
Yeah,
don't know
somebody
exactly
that
how to
just exudes
describe
this
it.
energy that, like, they don't want to be around you, and so you kind of give them the
Cool guy.
space. Yeah.
And then you see the arc, the seasons
I
change, and
love
then they
the arc.
become nice, or they become like quiet, or just something changes, and you realize people are an evolving like a river.
Oh yeah.
It's just changing. It's always the same. Rivers are always moving and switching. It's always different
Yep.
water.
Yep.
It's always different sand that's underneath that's getting pushed. You can't
Absolutely.
step in the same river twice, right? It's like this. It's
Exactly.
like people. This guy you met when you first met him, he was just like a total, like, he had no redeeming qualities, and now
Mhm.
he's like, oh, then this guy, I trust him with my newborn baby or whatever. And the
Exactly.
opposite's true too. When people are
Mhm.
too nice for too long,
Yep.
they get bullied. They get all this, pick up this negative energy, and then they turn into the dark side. They
Yep.
become the villain.
They break. It's an interesting thing. I think from what I took most from high school wasn't the test that I was stressed about. It wasn't the trajectory of a ball. It wasn't how atoms fit together to make molecules. It was how to be around people.
Mm,
It was how to learn from people as
mm,
well. I learned more from my peers than I did from teachers. I think when it comes to life in general, the teachers give a really valuable lesson that's deeper than the actual subject matter they're teaching. A lot of math, like, I'll speak on math and science just because that's really where I spent most of my time in high school. They would teach calculus, they would teach even just algebra, simple stuff like that. What they're really teaching is problem solving, right? They're teaching you to persevere, think outside the box. And I think that's what a lot of students, especially the people around me at the time, they didn't get. Kind of saw them at the surface level, like this authority that they wanted to, everyone goes through a rebellious stage, so they wanted to rebel against them. Whereas other people saw them as gods. That's so, it's just such black and white thinking when it comes to the people around you, because everyone was where you were. Everyone was a baby. Everyone couldn't walk at some point. You know what I mean? Some people still can't. But like, everyone was a baby. Everyone learned from someone. And so if you go into high school thinking you're either going to find the answer from somebody else, or that you know better than everyone else, you're just going to find yourself
they're
spiraling.
both equally
They're both
ridiculous.
equally ridiculous. You're just going to find yourself spiraling down a
Mm.
rabbit hole. But the real thing is they tell you to get into clubs, to join, chess club, join band, get into drama, even get into sports. And that's just to expose yourself to so many different
Parts of life.
parts of
And it's
life.
so important.
So important. I know, especially at the school I went to, there was this weird class divide, at least in my grade, especially going from middle school to high school, of the rich and the poor. Both a quite well off, wealthy neighborhood went to my middle school, as well as the trailer park that I grew up near. They both went to the same middle school. And so you'd have these conflicting worldviews where you'd have the school telling you, get into clubs, get into sports, meet friends. They say, oh, by the way, hockey is $2,000. If you join this sport, you need to get gear, which is this X amount of money. That's shutting out a whole class of people. And so you get cliques within the cliques. And from my point of view, it was very class divided, rich and poor. And there was a time where I subscribed to that idea for sure, especially growing up in like a very like poor part of town. There's one story in particular that sticks in my head still to this day. It was this girl, and it was the newest iPhone, second newest. Sorry, a new one had just come out. I was walking past her in the cafeteria. I was getting some lunch. She was with her friends, and she just goes, "I really want the new iPhone, but this one isn't broken." And her friend just says, "Then break it." And so she threw her phone against a wall until it got destroyed. I remember getting my $5 lunch thinking like this is great. I can't believe I'm getting like lunch here, I'm able to like eat with my friends. And then there's a girl at the next table over, like at least in the same room, throwing her phone against the wall. And that made me so angry. But as I grew up, I realized those people, at least her in particular, she grew up, had a really tough home life. So when I think back on that, yes, there's still a part of me that's a
And she
little
did get
bitter.
the upgraded
She
phone.
did get the upgraded phone. That's the important part.
So she told her
she was
parents that she
right.
broke it, and then her parents bought the new one.
Exactly. As I grew up, I realized her parents bought her love with money, whereas my parents were quite loving, despite there's a large chunk of my life where I didn't even realize that I was as poor as I was. I became a little bit more aware of that as I got older. Seeing that at first infuriated me to the point where I'm like, I was jealous. I was envious. That's just completely, I mean, that's just, I was in middle school. That's just growth. You know what I mean? But when she got older, I realized that a lot of those people that were in a higher economic class than us, that was not the reason to dislike someone ever. There were good people and there were bad people, just like there were good and bad people in my economic class.
There's definitely this strange moral undercurrent that's plaguing Gen Z right now, where it's morally righteous to hate rich people.
Yeah.
It's one of the things I detest, because there are just people. There are no rich people. There are no poor people. Yes, greed is real.
Yeah.
Yes, charity should happen more. We're not taking care of each other enough. However, it's the absolute hypocrisy that just blows me away. Oh man, I hate how these billionaires, they're worth $1 billion. Why don't they just worth 900 million? They should give away that 100 million.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I genuinely agree.
Yeah.
However, they're very hateful about that. That same person, let's say they make X amount of dollars per hour, $20 an hour.
Yeah.
In the city we live in, that's acceptable.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
They pay the rent, they buy their groceries. Their job is much more tamer than any job I've ever had, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh man, I'm just so, I need to be making more, so angry, and so all this. You have all this disposable income that's being wasted on luxury items. Why aren't you giving away that money?
Mm-hmm.
You expect it. You don't think the billionaire also feels a sense of lack? You don't think that they also feel like they don't have enough? They may have this X-size yacht. Oh, buddy's got 10,000 foot long yacht. You know what I mean? I have a 9,000. He's a 10,000. But everyone can feel lack even when you have enough. Almost every single person who's listened to his podcast has enough. They've always had enough, and they always will have enough.
Yeah, whether or not you realize it.
But you may have felt or are feeling or will feel in the future that you just have a sense of lack and sort of an emptiness. Well, I'm sorry, but you're not going to be getting that from a tangible physical object.
Yeah.
When you have an emotional hole in your being, no amount of security, no amount of guaranteed in quotes, security is going to make you feel safe, because it's up to you to allow yourself to feel safe.
Absolutely.
Especially us both growing in a poor living situation. My situation was kind of strangely poor because my mom had money, but it just wasn't really used. It was used in a very weird way.
Yes.
Like some certain luxury items, but then like she would buy like essential oils or something that are really nice and smell good and whatever for your health, and at the like $60 a bottle, she'd buy like multiple bottles. On the other hand, the fridge is like empty. Like you open the fridge, it's just like empty. There's just like spaghetti.
Yeah, I completely get that. My situation was similar, where just the money was going someplace else that wasn't towards like the proper needs, I guess.
And that comes from a different kind of sense of lack. Whatever our parents were buying that they didn't need, that they thought they needed, was trying to fill some hole that didn't have any reason to exist in the first place. That hole, it just shouldn't even exist.
Everybody, unless they find it within themselves, everyone feels like they need something else.
Mm.
Even especially the billionaires that have everything,
Mm.
they want more.
How do you think they got all the energy to get to that point?
Yeah.
I get nepotism is real, but to maintain wealth is difficult.
Yep.
And actually, a lot of billionaires are self-made because they just so happen to be self-made in quotes, because we're all dependent on our teachers and our luck and
Exactly.
things that happen in our life. But what I'm saying is that most of them have worked incredibly hard, about as hard as the average blue collar worker in America.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They just worked hard and smart and got lucky.
Yeah. And I think it's not their fault that they use the system to their advantage. Like,
that's my main thing. We need to
yeah.
change the system, not change the people.
Exactly. But yeah, like they're playing the game and they're playing it well, and it's hard to get mad at that. I certainly
That's
don't.
not true what you just said.
What do
It's
I say?
easy to get mad at that.
Oh, I was saying, yeah, okay, yeah. I was saying for me, it's hard to get mad at that.
I think it's a rare thing that your first instinct when you see someone with a lot of money is, oh, they in some way they probably deserve it. In some way, I'm sure it'll be a good thing in the grand scheme of things. In some way, it's not really their fault. It just kind of happened.
Yeah.
In some way. That's rare. Most of the times it's this guy cheated the system. This guy stole. This guy, and why don't I have that? It's very common.
When I see someone with a lot of wealth, even if they're using it irresponsibly, someone like Jeff Bezos, wealth is coming in and he could just sit around and do nothing. Someone like him deserves a place in this machine of life. He's a cog in it. I am someone that believes the reincarnation. In the reincarnation, the lessons that you may not have learned in that life, you will learn in the next. So someone like Jeff Bezos is teaching other people lessons about themselves and how they view that guy, that will then in turn affect their lives in the same way that his actions will also affect how his next life will be. Everyone gets their dues. It's not something that you have to control. A lot of people want to control how people behave in life. Wholeheartedly, I believe like activism is great. Activism without action is just you just like spewing it out into the world.
Complaining.
Just complaining. It's just complaining. Back in the 70s, 60s, 70s, when people really wanted to get stuff done, protests would happen, but then action would happen. There's some people doing that. I don't want to dismiss those people. But there's a lot of people that are just like online activists that just want to just spew hate and then just expect things to get done. But I think if you're,
it's a whining baby throwing a tantrum.
It's a whining baby throwing a tantrum. If you want things to change around the world, you have to first change your life. You have to take a look at yourself and think, how can I be a cog in this machine? And a small cog, if you look at a watch is very complex. Even the smallest ones are important. That's why they're there. You're here on this earth to be a cog in the machine that you're a part of. Everyone's a part of it. And so if you want something done, you have to clean the gear, man. Like take a look at yourself and just figure it out.
It's pretty practical too. It's just keep your house clean. Don't buy stuff you don't need. Don't support luxury. That money just gets funneled instantly to billionaires. Don't waste your time. Get off of Twitter. Delete Twitter. Get off of these get off of these hate factories. It's so simple. You can just start with that.
People like to make it so complex, or look for the one big thing that'll finally give it all to them. The one little hack. Something that we were talking about earlier that I think would be kind of fun to talk is manifestation. How people have discovered this one trick to finally have it all through the power of their own will.
Yes, man.
It's just ridiculous.
Let's just get across where we stand on manifestation magic.
Yeah,
so, what is manifestation magic is, I want to become a millionaire. I'm going to act like it already happened. I'm going to tell myself in the mirror 20 times in the morning, 20 times at night, I'm a millionaire. I'm going to be a millionaire. It's going to happen. Make acts like it's already happened. Put energy out in the world. Try new things that would make you become a millionaire. Buy that lottery ticket, because
there's a certain degree of what you're saying that is true about wanting something in life. I mean, I've seen it in my own life. People taking it to such a degree where they are no longer relying on their own wills or their own actions. They're relying solely on the universe to just give it to them.
Give it to me, give it to me.
Give it to me.
And they won't get it, man, because
They won't.
it's, you take a beautiful woman, 10 out of 10 woman.
Yeah.
If you're like, I want you so bad, I want you more than anything, you know what's beautiful, there's a special girl in the world, she's gonna get the ick.
She's gonna get the
You
ick
might have
real
had a
quick.
chance, but she's gonna get the ick. She's like, you were kind of cute, but nah,
Yeah.
not interested.
Unless
buddy.
you put in the work to be
Put in the
there
work a
with
little
her.
bit, but you have to believe in yourself. You have to, it's true. You have
Yeah.
to have confidence. It's like this: 100% of people who are successful did something in the category of manifestation, in the way that
Yeah.
they had a confidence that might be a little bit illogical, a mindset that's a little bit over the top in their self-belief.
Yeah.
A little bit like, whoa, man, you really believe in yourself. That's like, wow, like you really think that's gonna happen. A little bit unrealistic, but not 100% of people who are like that will be successful.
It's not a therefore. It's just one way.
It's,
know what I mean?
yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a prerequisite. You have to be a little bit crazy to be very successful, because you have to really believe in yourself even when it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And you got to start when it sucks. This podcast is, it kind of sucks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you have to have a little bit of a wonky mindset, but at the end of the day, you're still going to have to put in the work. You're still going to have to get out there. Now, when it comes to the actual magic part of it, yes, I do think there is a little bit of a thing going on that's not necessarily completely explainable by science.
Mm-hmm.
But the degree to which is exaggerated just blows me away. I'm talking like over 1,000 times more powerful than what it really is the view of like, you can do anything, you can manifest anything. I think if you really put in manifestation energy, you really follow, like you can even write things down, make the like sigil magic, there's all sorts of things. I've tried it, and I think, yeah, you know what, I do think it works a little bit beyond science, but I think it is like, it enhances the probability of that thing happening by about 10 times. What I did for myself was I did sigil magic to have a healthy body. I wrote in the sentence, my body is powerful, fit, and healthy, and whatever. It was like you write it in like a certain type of way with a certain type of letters and a certain number of words. And you cross out all the vowels, you take all the consonants, you combine the consonants into a symbol, and you keep playing with that symbol until you get something that's really appealing to you. Then you burn that symbol. So this is called sigil magic.
Interesting.
And you write it in present tense, like I am strong.
Like
I am a millionaire.
You are this
yes,
right now.
Exactly. I must say, after that, I would say, yeah, I do have a little bit more vitality. That's what it was. It was like my body is abundant with vitality or something like that.
Interesting.
I would say I have a little bit more, not really explainable vitality. And I did this months ago.
Now, I like looking at things from all angles. So if you wanted to look at it from a scientific perspective, what do you think is most likely going on if you took away the magic? Science
would explain it as placebo.
Okay.
But you can just write away anything that's not scientific as placebo, and that's a satisfying scientific answer, which is okay.
Yeah.
But what if the placebo is extremely powerful?
Then is that not the same thing as it just working?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I would say that what I did, it worked, but let's say it enhanced my health, my power by 5-10%. I think I did a really good job with it. Like I followed all the steps. Some YouTuber guy is going to say like, oh yeah, dude, you can get $1 million using this method. It's like, I think you could probably get $500.
Yeah.
Maybe 100.
Yeah.
Not even 500. That's a lot. That's asking a lot out of the universe, honestly, to get like a 500 chunk.
Because also, why does the universe want to give you money? You know what I mean?
Exactly. I think the intention matters. For me to have a healthy body, it's not going to hurt anyone.
That's a beautiful want. Because that's in its essence, it's a very spiritual want as well. Your own vessel to persevere through the tough times that you're going to go through.
Yeah.
And be able to come out on the other side unscathed and learn something from it. You know,
yes.
Hopefully in that you're also, subconsciously thinking why you want the healthy body, right? It isn't just, you're not asking to look better. You're not asking to be able to lift heavier. You're just asking to be healthy, which I think is that's such a baseline want for your body. It's a very pure intention. Whereas, $1 million or,
maybe the less pure it is, the more the backfiring. I love hearing the stories of backfiring. This one girl was, I want an affordable car. What happened was, I don't remember exactly how it happened, but her Facebook got hacked or something.
Interesting.
And when she logged back in, there was an ad open for a car. but her Facebook got hacked and like she lost her privacy basically.
Oh,
But in
interesting.
return, she got the ad for the car, which is what she wanted. From an Eastern point of view, for some reason you don't have enough good karma to have that car that you want. You have to pay for something somehow. So if
Mhm.
you ask the universe, you demand the car, the universe will be like, okay, well I have to do something in exchange for it. Like, let's say you killed someone in your past life, and now that person is your bully,
Mm.
okay? And you ask for that bully to go away. So for that bully to go away, let's say you ask for that to happen. One day randomly at school, he just bullies you to an unbelievable degree, like the worst. I don't know, like he pantses you in front of everyone. It's just the worst day of life. But the next day he moves away. So they condensed
Interesting.
all the karma into one small section of
One small
time.
section that you just had to kind of endure.
That's one of my favorite mindsets to go at the world with, and one of my favorite goals is I want all the bad karma that I have to face to be condensed. I want to just get it out the way,
Yep.
and I want to learn everything that I can from it as quick as possible. I don't care how you teach me. I don't care how you do it. Just keep me alive so I can learn.
That's
Get me to learn
beautiful.
as quick as possible because I don't want to be wasting any time anymore.
That
I've
is very
suffered enough.
beautiful. Yeah,
I've had enough suffering. I'm done.
exactly.
Like, get this over with.
There's certainly a danger when it comes to this manifestation without the lens of karma. You rely so heavily on yourself. I've seen it happen where people, part of the placebo is the fact that you're more aware of some of the doors opening for you. You know, if you want to become a millionaire and you get this opportunity, you jump the gun because you're like, oh my gosh, yes, this is exactly what I've been looking for, but I want to become a millionaire this whole time, and then I'm finally getting it. Whereas I've seen it happen when I was in university. There was this girl that got really, really into manifestation. There was at one point she manifested passing her exams. One huge issue with that. The degree to which she was manifesting was pure reliance on the ritual itself without realizing the connection to her outside world and realizing that she has the power to do that on her own. To me, part of it seemed almost lazy. It seemed like she could put in the hard work that many other people were doing that will pass their exams, of, you know, staying up a bit later, really diving deep into that hard concept that you couldn't get. Meanwhile, she's lighting candles and writing on pieces of paper, just asking the universe to give her an A. But if she gets there, you know, unless the exam is on manifestation and you didn't study any of it, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she was super smart. But then is that her just being smarter? Is that the actual manifestation? You know, she just put such reliance into this, and yeah, she dropped out like a year later. So it's just, did it work for her? Probably not. May it work for someone? Maybe. But is that just chance? Is that or maybe that person had really good karma in a past life, and that they just, to them, that asking something, they've never asked for anything in their whole life, and the universe is like, you know what, for you, here you go. For someone who never asks for anything, that means they work for it. Is there a part of the manifestation that is just ritualistically becoming aware of the world around you to the point that you succeed? I think to a large degree that is exactly it. This new age Western magic thing that people chalk it up to be, where it's just purely this spiritual energy that brings forth $1 billion or brings forth that A on the exam.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
The opposite of manifestation, that is true. If you don't believe in yourself at all, if you don't believe it can happen, you have so many barriers to your own success that you set up, from insecurity, lies you tell yourself, BS storylines you tell yourself. Oh, I was abused by my parents, and you exaggerate it, or maybe it's true but you don't want to move on, or oh, this happened to me in middle school. I had a bully. I had this, so I just can't succeed, or oh, I'm too short, or I'm too ugly, or I'm too this. That will basically guarantee you will not fulfill your potential in
No.
any field. I'm talking monetary field, job satisfaction, relationships, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, friends, your relationship, your family, your whatever your creative pursuit is in life, even video games, man.
Oh yeah.
Anything. If you believe that it's not possible for me to improve, why would I even try at that point? The opposite would be like, no matter what, I will improve. That's like a little bit too far. If I try, I will succeed. That's the right mindset.
That's the right mindset.
That's the right manifestation mindset.
Yeah. I feel like if you have the right mindset where you will do it no matter what, and you don't have that aspect of trying, because in essence, once you introduce that word trying, what you are actually saying is, to your best ability, given the circumstances, you will push towards success as much as you can. If you say, I'm going to do it no matter what, you're going to trample on some people.
Yeah.
You're going to hurt yourself because you're going to hurt the people around you.
Yeah.
And to some degree, all right, you got what you wanted. Now what?
I think people are built differently. Yeah, we're all the same really deep down, but
Yep.
that's covered up.
Yep.
I think people really are more different than I thought as a kid. I thought everybody was like me and they were just pretending to be who they were. I was like, deep down, you must have the same values as me.
Yeah.
Maybe not, though. And maybe that's a good thing.
I've opened up to that idea as I grew up, especially meeting so many people in my life that have just exuded unwillingness to do good and almost an ignorance to it, to just like help the people around them. Whereas it's so deep in my soul, I felt like everyone is good. They're trying to do good in their own way, but there are people that I've met that seem to have just completely ignored that, or like are afraid of it. And I don't know if that speaks to, I don't know for sure yet if that speaks to something on a deeper level that they cannot change, or that maybe in the next life that'll change. It's something that they'll learn later. There are a lot of different people out there. You don't really know what they're gonna be looking for or what their values are. I think as long as you're working towards being a positive person, paying attention to your own spirituality, paying attention to your own goals, while also the effort's what
Just
matters.
effort.
Yeah, and being mindful of other people and what they're doing, having some empathy towards them. I think empathy is an incredibly important value.
And really what we're saying is just so basic.
Yes. Yeah, what we're saying is just completely basic, and I feel like I'm talking to like my younger self, or I'm talking baby speak right now. But there's a lot of people that just really don't get it. They haven't even opened up their mind to just how easy it is to just begin being better and not spiraling down this hole that they've dug themselves. In high school, I met a lot of people like that. University, I met a lot of people like that, where they were just, this is just life, and they've just completely accepted it to the point of isolation.
It's all about how you react to it. If someone's bullying you, or something's happening, some evils in the world, or you're panicking about some sort of political event, let's say it's something that you can't do anything about that's happening. What are you going to do now? Are you going to get angry? Are you going to worry? Are you going to spread hate? Are you going to go on Twitter and be all self-righteous and talk about how correct you are? And you may actually be factually correct.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not going to help anyone. No one's going to listen. Nobody cares. You're spending all your time festering in your own self-righteousness and your own
anger,
moral high ground, your own high horse.
Okay, yeah.
You spend all that time being at that point, and then your life goes by, and before you know it, you die. And the whole time, you were so upset about all these things that were never going to change.
Yep.
Never could change and never will change. Yep. I think it would be a better idea to not do that, to not waste your time with that. And maybe the exercise in your life is to resist those feelings, emotions, those energies, really, because they're a little bit profound, what they are, that possesses people. Politics. Yep. It possesses people. Yep. It owns them. It takes up space in their mind, in their life, in their brain. It doesn't help them. It bleeds them dry of their energy. It bleeds them dry of their time, when they could be spending that time being grateful for their life, being anything, man. Fill in the blank.
From what I've learned being here on Earth, people love to be angry.
It's a drug.
And you know what? I would agree to a certain degree. I've been angry before. And sometimes it's good to kind of get that out. It's a little bit of a dopamine rush. But at the end of the day, you feed into that too much. Express your emotions. Go off. But do not hurt the people around you. You're going to find yourself isolated and just a heart full of hate. If you ever get angry, one of the best things you can do is to sit there in it and question why you're angry. What happened that made you angry? And how can you move on from it? Having this mindset of needing to act right away is what is hurting so many people. They need to be angry about the thing right now. They need the thing right now. Just sit with it a little bit. Why do you need the thing? Have you really thought about if you can get that same thing through other means? Is there a smarter way of going about it? This society of quick movement, and we all just need to slow down. Actually talk to each other, actually sit there with yourself, sit there in silence. Sit there for 5 minutes in silence. I want to move on from these basic things, but when you
It's only our second
when you
episode.
boil it
We're just
down,
getting warmed up.
we're just getting warmed up, yeah. But when you boil it down, a lot of these things are so basic.
Where do you come from? Where are you heading?
So where I come from is just a life full of uncertainty, fear, especially growing up, being really unsure of myself, always feeling like I didn't fit in, and feeling this anger build within me. And when I got older, that anger turned into curiosity, a little bit of rebellion that pushed me towards a life of learning everything that I can about myself and about other people around me. I want to leave behind sort of a life that is representative of someone whose journey has just begun, breaking free from whatever cycle that I was a part of, discovering more about the world around me, the life that I'll probably be living for a while. And I'm talking in the sense of like reincarnation. Like, this isn't, my final form. Hopefully I leave behind something that allows other people to pick up where I left off. Where I'm heading, a place of self-discovery, truth seeking, that I don't know if a lot of people are as serious about it as I might be, or as open about it. I know that it can seem quite cowardly to not land on a specific ideology or a specific religion. I call myself just a spiritual person. I wouldn't say that I have any sort of religion or I have any sort of faith. And that can come off as very uncertain of myself. But I am actually very certain of myself. It's just that I'm also certain that other people are certain of themselves. If I'm open to that sort of knowledge that they have gained, then that can help both of us. And together, as a human species, hopefully that allows us to grow spiritually. And I want to leave the world behind a little bit better than when I was brought into it. That's really where I'm going. And I don't know if other people resonate with that. If they do, heck yeah. I know, like, you and I have built a relationship on this kind of figuring out what there is out there, what is right and what is wrong, and sifting out all the garbage. But if there are other people out there, that's great. Even if you watch this podcast and you're like, I really resonate with the things that these guys are saying, I would love for you to stick around. I would love for that. Because I think there's, even if you move past it and you learn beyond what it is that we might discuss, when the cameras are turned off and the microphones are turned off, it's not like we stop talking. Not at all. Like, we have these conversations, and every now and then we go on topics that are a little bit deeper than some of the things that, as beginner podcasters, we feel comfortable talking about right now.
I think these are the last episodes, honestly. I don't think these are going to be focused on.
I definitely, right now we are babies. we're little baby podcasters. Yeah. For people to stick around with us from the very beginning, I mean, it would be great if you comment about some of the things that maybe you want us to talk about. That would be kind of cool.
Well, I would love the comment suggestions.
I would love that. I would love to one day have an episode where I'm actually able to talk to some of you guys. I know a lot of, like, the viewers right now are just like our buddies. I would love to have a conversation. That's really when I want to start. You know what I mean? But the conversation doesn't end when we stop talking. The conversation is always going. It's like that friend that you haven't talked to in a while and you just pick up where you left off. I want people to leave this and think, man, like, what was that thing that they talked about? Like, I really want to look into that more with this mind of sifting through the garbage. There's a lot of garbage out there in the world.
I would detest if we just become more noise.
No, I don't want to become more noise. I don't want it to become an echo chamber. I want people to challenge us. Being challenged is one of the most rewarding feelings.
So
it
good.
Really is. Like, being wrong is such a beautiful feeling. It might be hard at first, but you learn. And that's really the best feeling. So being wrong is just learning. If you're right and you shove it in their face, or if you, like, gatekeep information, that's just ridiculous. If you are right about something and you see someone doing something that is wrong, or they're going through life with this idea that is just fueled by negative thoughts or might be hurtful to the people around them, if you have the right knowledge, why would you keep that from them? Why would you not want to go help out your fellow human? And the thing is, if you go up to them and you're like, hey, it could be as simple as you're at work and you're like, hey, that's the wrong screwdriver. They're using a friggin' flathead instead of a Phillips or something like that. And you're like, oh, hey, like, I actually have the right one if you wanted to use that. And they are, like, so hateful towards you. It's good to persevere, but maybe they're not ready yet. And maybe, like, take your time with it, especially if you're in an environment where you're going to be seeing that person a lot. Take it easy. it's from situation to situation. With that.
We're completely different.
Yeah.
You're way more open-minded than I ever was. I used to be extremely open-minded.
Mm,
People take advantage of you when you're open-minded.
absolutely, they do.
They try to impregnate you with their own ideologies. They want to spread it so they make them feel confident.
Yep.
You give it a shot. I've given so many people's perspective on life
Yep.
a shot, like a real shot.
Yeah.
The fantastic failure that
Yeah.
each and every single one of them
Mhm.
brought me. I jumped up a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. And now I've come to the point where my mindset is very rare. I am not shy to have the pride that I've built a
Yeah.
wonderful foundation. And if it never improves, I'm okay with it. You have a much more kinder approach.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I never get in anyone's business.
Yeah.
Anyone who's watching this is their own free will. We're not doing an amazing job. It's not like they're learning a lot right now.
No. Right now, yeah, this is the bare bones. We're setting a platform to jump
Exactly.
off of and hopefully reach some more complex
Yeah.
topics.
Confidence comes with experience. I've gone through mindsets and views of the world, perspectives of the world extremely quickly
Mm.
and really fleshed them out
Okay.
to the utmost degree. Many different types of religions, including the modern day religions that are conspiracy theorist religions,
Yeah.
Homesteading religions,
Yeah, a lot of new age stuff.
all these weird religions that people be like, oh, that's not a religion because it's not organized, doesn't have a book and everything. Yeah, but I mean, if you think about conspiracy theories all day, every day, and you try to make people believe it, and you're believing them like to the utmost degree,
Their book is
it,
the
it
internet.
may as well, yes,
Yeah.
it may as well be a religion. And you get together with certain people at a certain time, and it's like a very emotional connection.
There's a little bit of a ritualistic thing going
Yeah.
on. There's I mean, they have their own mantras,
Yep.
and it's the moon landing was. I'd say it's a religion. I'd say I'd back
I
you up
was
on
extremely leftist. I was extremely right. Both
Yeah.
sides, all of them, really believed it, really felt them all. It's all complete BS. The right mindset is no mindset. I am extremely like vicious in that. But if no one asks me, I'll never get it. I'll never step on your toes. The only way I ever learned is when I really took what people had to say seriously and I asked them questions.
that. Mhm.
I get asked very few questions by everyone. Nobody cares. Whatever.
Interesting.
I ask questions to everyone all the time. Question. So I
Yeah.
want to know. I'm inquisitive. It could also be that someone's so satisfied with their life, I don't need to know anything.
Yeah.
So it's not that I'm better than anyone. I'm just as flawed as everyone. But I have collected a couple of gems that are very, very nice, and they're extreme, and they're shareable. They're duplicatable.
Yeah.
Everybody's ideologies they're free. You can just duplicate them and give them as many as you want. If someone's trying to give me a dust bunny, and I have a red diamond, like the most expensive gemstone in the world, buddy,
Get
no,
out
you know what I mean? Like, don't replace.
Yeah.
This is. I've worked very hard to solidify these beliefs in me, and the amount of absolute results, real tangible results.
You've built this kind of space for yourself to discover all these religions, and you've stumbled upon something that you just suddenly felt so connected to.
Yeah.
All that really needs to happen in my experience, you can say one thing, and if you word it elegantly and concisely, it can stab through any hate or any negativity needle and plant that seed. And then all my job is to let it grow and back away. They can keep yelling at me, but I've said it, and it's there in their brain, and all they need to do is think about it. Sometimes I'm a little bit more confident in when I know that I've done it. Other times, not so much. That's how I like to teach things. I will give a hard hitting like subject or like a hard hitting topic, and if they have a question for me or if they like don't agree with what I'm saying, I'll give them a little bit of the true answer and then back it down. It's a little bit of a game. I think it's a very good like teaching tool. I taught, pre-calculus in high school because no teacher would step up to do it. I taught 3 kids and they all passed. But the reason why I was allowed to do it at all was because they were destined to fail. Like all the teachers in the school were even the principal was like, we don't even want to consider giving them the class because we kind of figured they're already going to fail. They gave me this opportunity because they figured no loss. If they failed, it's whatever. But they all passed. Some of them passed with like 80. I think the lowest mark I had was a 70. But my teaching method during that was implant these big ideas in their head, and they all look at me really confused. So what I do when I'm introducing a new topic, I'll go from A to B. I'll go right from the first instant of teaching the topic to the very end of it and show them exactly what it means to learn this first topic. And then I'll see the look on their faces. They'll be really confused. And I'm like, okay, now let's go back to the first part. This isn't what we're going to be doing right now. It's what we're going to be going towards.
You give them an overview,
I give them an overview.
and then you get down to the specifics.
Yes. And it seems counterintuitive that the overview is the seed, but that's really what it is. Seeing the other side of the mountain. You know what I mean? It's like, here's what the other side of the mountain looks like. So I know the mountain looks really hard right now, but on the other side is this great meadow. And then the next time you see a mountain, you may not be as scared to go over it. With that teaching style of implanting that seed, that this really dense bit of information, and then allowing it to grow, eventually they all got it to a pretty good degree. There was one student, I love him. He was actually great. I spent many lunches with him. He wanted to learn so bad, but his brain just wasn't built for it. But man, could he play basketball. His body and mind were not built for some of the things that we were learning, which is totally fine. The only time I see a problem with something like that is if they're completely unwilling to learn. But he was giving it his absolute best shot, and that's all that I cared about. So how does that relate to someone who is disagreeing with me? Typically, if I'm having a discussion with someone where I'm learning something from them, it's a very civil discussion. It's very calm. And even if there's a disagreement, there's a level of respect. Typically, if I'm not receiving respect from someone, I will usually walk away from that having taught them something versus the other way around. I'm not completely throwing out the window that it's possible. And I could have learned something from them, like subconsciously, or maybe how to deal with a similar situation later down the road. But I hope that after leaving the conversation, they walk away with something that they can carry with them into the next time they have an argument with someone, or maybe maybe it'll give them a little moment of like, okay, wait, like, how did this go last time? And maybe like reflect on their own actions. I want them to be their own teachers so that when I'm not there, I don't have to baby them. You know what I mean? That's kind of the goal of being a teacher. It's this very it's very rewarding, but really the end goal is they need you, but you do not want them to need you. You want them to be able to move on without you and maybe even surpass you. And that's kind of how I see the way that we can actually build a society of spiritual people. Not everyone's there yet, but there's certainly a large number of spiritual people around the world that are hopefully trying to do the same thing in their own way. Because sometimes you have to know when to just walk away, when this person is just completely unwilling to learn. Because that's really it. You need, first of all, the basis of they are willing to learn from you. Typically when people are arguing with
What
you,
if that's what you're trying to change? What if the fundamental thing is I want to inspire you to consider other people's viewpoints, but they do not consider other people's viewpoints as their fundamental belief?
That is where the seed comes in. And in that situation, the type of seed that I will put in is that I am not your enemy. I am representative of someone that you hate. I'm representative of an idea that you hate. And yet I am not reflecting that hate back on you. That you are afraid of something, or you're hateful of something, or something hurt you in the past. And that although in your mind right now I'm irrationally that manifestation, I'm actually not. And I'm trying to let you see. So in that moment, actually, I need to be the most vulnerable, because in doing so, they allow you to see me as a fellow human being.
Can you think of a good example of someone you've interacted with?
Yeah. So I was in this really terrible relationship end of high school towards the beginning of university. There was a time where we spent a lot of time apart. We inevitably broke up. We met up later. She was angry at me for not talking to her and like leaving her alone after we broke up. She was refusing to see that what she had done in our relationship has hurt me greatly. And so my job was to be incredibly vulnerable to the person that hurt me a lot. So what I did was put her in my shoes. I talked to her in a way at first. Storytelling is a very good tool for these types of people because it takes them out of the reality that they've built up in their head as
And this
like,
girl is a sociopath, by the
yeah,
way.
she was a sociopath. Yeah, absolutely. I had to take her out of the reality that she's built up for herself and that I've done these terrible things, that I left her alone after we broke up, and that I didn't try to talk with her. And I mean, it was even at the point where she got sad that I wasn't wearing some of the clothes that she had bought me when I went to go see her. Like, just completely narcissistic.
And she broke up with you, right?
She broke up with me, yeah. So that was a time where I just completely let people walk all over me. I was not willing to break up. I had this thought in my head, like, everyone can change, and that it was almost my job to make people change versus just them kind of changing on their own. That's where I kind of adopted the thing where I want to be able to plant a seed and then walk away. Anyway, so while we were having this conversation, it was completely about her, completely about her, completely about her. I kind of like interrupted her a little bit. I started telling a story about something that I went through. I related it back to things that she's experienced in her life where she's felt the most like broken and depressed. By the end of it, she was still incredibly angry at me. But years later, she texted me. She apologized. She talked about our relationship wasn't the best. It was a, lackluster apology, but it was an apology nonetheless, because the last time we did interact, I had implanted this thought in her head that completely humanized my experience to her, because if all she could see was herself, I had to put her in the story. So I talked about like some of the things that she put me through and some of the things that she's went through in her life. She went through some tough times in her life, which probably had something to do with how she reacted later down the road, but it was really hard. So you talked about like, isn't that exhausting? It was very exhausting, but I was all the better for it, because if I didn't do that, it would have just been this feeling in my gut, just a sour feeling that I left that without any sort of closure. And I think it allowed closure for both of us, because I think it not only helped her with her future relationships, it's doing better. So she started opening up a bit and being a bit better. And I think that would not have happened if I didn't show her how her actions have affected other people. I think in the relationship, she got so used to how she was acting that she didn't realize that she was doing something wrong. So it was also about that. It was also about showing her she was doing something hurtful. So I apply that to almost everything, implanting a little bit of a seed if I know that I can't be there forever. That's probably how I'll attack parenthood as well, teaching them something so that when I'm gone, they have something to exceed. I don't want people to walk away with just a little bit of information and not know what to do with it. I want to allow them to grow that seed themselves when I'm gone. And you know what? Maybe what I am doing is just completely exhausting, and I just haven't realized it yet.
No, because I've seen in your life people who you've interacted with. We've been friends for what, 5 years? I've seen people in your life. Yes, you have left an impact on people's life. However, the work to outcome ratio is unbelievably bad.
It's not an efficient way.
It's not efficient.
It's not efficient.
It does work. And the biggest part is you're developing.
Mm-hmm.
You are developing your patience, your love, your kindness, your persistence, your goodwill to others. You're honing it. You're sharpening it. It's beautiful. It's a great way to go about life. However, there will be a point where you need to drop it for your own sake.
Yeah. I think that there's something in the way that you go about things that I admire heavily. I think that we both come from incredibly turbulent like lives. The way that we go about trying to preserve that safe space is just completely different. I think I do agree actually that my way is incredibly exhaustive. It really.
But it's like a workout though, because you build yourself out.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, most of the time I don't even see the fruits of my labor ever, if ever. It's kind of something that I end up experiencing like years down the road. Or like they'll come back to me and they'll be like, "Oh my god, like do you remember when you like taught me that? Like I saw that. Oh, I actually like learned how to do this." And sometimes they don't even acknowledge that I maybe have been the one that planted that seed. But they talk about something in their life that has changed because of the way that they changed their actions. I would like distinctly remember having conversations.
I think you're used as a tool to do like 10% of the job. And they'll hear other things from many other people and have
that's how I see myself though too. I see myself definitely as again just like a sign, a street sign.
But a street sign doesn't try. Yeah, a street sign just is.
Yeah, so maybe I'm more of the crosswalking guard. But no, but I like that we have differences, and yet
And it's only within the last short while that I've been more
I think someone's coming.
closed off, more confident in myself about not, and more feeling that I don't need to change you. You
Yeah.
are flawed. I am flawed. Your flaws are glaring right now. They're causing problems like
Yeah.
impatience, pride, like to a degree that's like almost unimaginable if you haven't actually met and spent time with these types of people. I'm better off just not being around you.
You're done dealing with it.
I'm done dealing with it. Do you think this is a good time to end it?
I think so. I think I like that we talked a bit about how we go about our lives, how we're different and yet still best friends.
I wonder how this will be received. I wonder how we need to improve. Maybe we should be a little bit more brave and saying a little bit more deep stuff. Maybe we shouldn't be so pandering.
I think a lot of my deep stuff though is so personal, like from personal experience, like in the stories that I tell and what I've been through. So I think we need to put a trigger warning, I think, in some of my stories.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. If anyone watched
yeah.
the second one, thank you very much.
All the way through.
This painting.
And don't
right
lie.
Here. Yeah, don't lie. Come on. And please comment any suggestions, any topics, anything you want to say. Talk about what we had to say.
Please.
This painting is for sale as support for the podcast. I just made it really quick. I'm gonna show a little time lapse on the screen right now of me making it. I don't know, $20. It's just to support the show.
Yeah.
So
just to keep us going.
Just to keep us going, and it's very inspiring.
If you have any sort of suggestions, that's actually anything. Actually anything.
Just say it.
I can't. I don't know if we can guarantee if we'll do it for sure, but I mean we have kind of like a long list of topics that we want to discuss in the coming episodes for sure. Weekly, I think that we're pretty set on that.
Pretty set on that, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it. That's all I really want to say.
All right, okay,
all
that's
right,
it.
Cool. Yeah,
Goodbye.
thanks for watching. Bye.